If you leave the company, you will miss out on the bonus. So what to do about this? So now that you've stacked the facts of what you're currently on, your base, your target bonus of your short-term incentive, target performance bonus, whatever it's called, as well as any long-term incentives or restricted stock units, if you have evidence for any of that, maybe it's a particular grant amount, etc., then that is going to help you see your total package, total target package, and you're looking for an 8% increase on that or more. Again, there are a lot of factors to this, so if you're unsure at all about any of those, how any of those factors will be affecting your ask, make sure to consult with a professional. The next step is you might be wondering about your bonus and if you're going to have to forfeit that if you're going to be joining a new company halfway through the year. So most companies' performance bonus is based on your performance between January to December, and typically that then is paid out in March or April of the following year. And if you leave the company before then, in other words, for most companies, if you are not employed until December 31st of that year, then you will miss out on the chance to receive the entirety of whatever bonus you've earned there based on your performance. So what to do about this? Well, the good news is that if you're selected to be offered for this role, usually companies are willing to offset that. And this should be separated from your total package. Okay, so total package, base, bonus, and any equity or stock incentives is going to give you what you should look for in that 8% or more increase. But then besides that, any forfeited amounts, any amounts that you'll have to forfeit can be offset in the form of a sign-on bonus by the employer. So what you're going to want to do is provide evidence of whatever your last bonus was and how much of the target bonus that actual bonus was. It might be higher, it might be less. That matters not as much as just providing evidence of the fact that your target bonus in the current company is a certain amount. When you join the new company, you're going to be on a prorated system. So let's say, for example, that you're leaving your current company in June and you're starting in your new company on July 1st of the year. That means that theoretically you've earned half of your projected target bonus in the current company, and you should be offset. You should be compensated for that, since you're going to have to forfeit that usually by leaving the company before December 31st of that year. So by providing evidence around this, the company should be able to offer a sign-on bonus in cash, and that is usually paid in the first payroll after joining the company. Similarly, for LTI, long-term incentives or restricted stock units or equity, as long as this is quantifiable and you have some evidence of it, usually in the form of taking a snapshot or a PDF download of your shares from the securities company website, whether that's Fidelity or JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley or Nomura Securities or one of those securities firms, you'll be able to provide evidence that you are going to have to forfeit a certain amount of outstanding shares that have not yet vested at the time that you leave the company. Now, unlike the performance cash bonus, since these are shares we're talking about, the granted values, then whatever has not vested yet means that you will not be able to cash that out. Therefore, those stocks or those remaining grants, unvested amounts, are vulnerable to market changes. If there is a big product recall or some adverse effects in a clinical trial that affect the market value of that stock, it means you could lose that value tomorrow. And it could increase a lot tomorrow with some good news as well. So instead of expecting 100% compensation for stock, typically in my experience, this is closer to 50 or at most 80%, but rarely, if ever, is it 100%. Because it's not a cash value, it's a granted value. So I hope that helps to give you some clarity on what you can expect for both the raise and your current target total package, as well as how a sign-on bonus should be calculated to offset any lost performance bonuses, as well as what you can expect to be compensated if you're going to be forfeiting a certain amount of long-term incentives or restricted stock units or equity.